Yep. There we go. Yeah, I kind of thought that was the case. Sorry about that. I know, and the funny thing is, I was actually getting on Aaron about his audio over in his stream, and here's me just totally acting like a professional and all. Gotta love it. All right. I'll say, and I'm not hearing. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything through my headset. What is going on? Give me a second. I actually just OBS recently, or not OBS, NVIDIA Broadcast recently updated. So if anything, it wouldn't be that stuff. That's fine. That's the quadcast. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And now that's not going to come through. Oh, this is terrible. What is going on here? Making dinner at the moment, so I'm going to be in and out for a bit. That's fine, man. Yeah, obviously I have to get my shit together. All right, so that's right. Should definitely be on desktop. Okay, that's just super quiet in the background is all. Okay, hold on. Okay, I am hearing it. It's just super quiet in the background. All right, so we good. We're good. That just took a bit of finagling. Yeah, Glenn, what are you eating? That's a question. You know what I'm eating? I'm not eating anything. I'm drinking some G Fuel. Funny enough. Oh yeah. By the way, somebody stuck that. I keep going out of frame rate there. It's so awkward. Somebody stuck that that OpenD&D sticker up on the arcade cabinet, and I thought about peeling it off. But you know what? I think it sends a good message, so we're gonna leave it there for a little bit. So yeah, that'll be up there. You know, it's just the adhesive is too hard. It's almost as if it's stuck on there by the power of love. Yeah. So no, what I was gonna say is, I'm drinking G Fuel out of a Gamer Supps shaker. It's all like the same company, I think. It's like, actually it is kind of weird. Like, hold on, I have another shaker here. All right, so G Fuel is always super shiny, and like, I mean, this is my Dragon Ball Z one, and you can see the shine in this. This is a blender bottle with a logo on it. Funny enough, I only got this because it says Ghost, and like, that's what my whole channel logo is. It's a little ghost. So, and it's also black and red, so you know, obviously. But this one does have a bit of a shine to it, and it is kind of see-through at the right light. Like, this isn't see-through, But this from Gamersupps has a very like nice matte finish. There's obviously a shine to the stickers and to the top, but it's the same thing. Like all the lids are interchangeable. Yeah. So I got this the other day because this is a group that I follow on YouTube called The Goons, and I saw that theirs was black and red, and I was like, yeah, I want that. Plus, it also comes with some samples. So they had like blue raspberry and melon and mango, which I was all for. But yeah, I think I have the Dragon Ball Z flavor in here, the Kamehameha one. It's not bad. I actually do have more coming in the mail soon. You need to share the story of the ghost one day. The ghost one? Wait, do you mean the actual icon? Like my channel logo? Funny enough, I don't even have like I don't like normally keep it around. But I mean, wait, what was that? What did I just put in there? Was that a whole... Oh yeah, that was the wrong thing. Wait, are you referring to this? To this big guy? Cause if you making chicken parm, yes, my ghost. If you want to know the story about my ghost, it's very simple. I don't know if I can actually pull it up there anymore. Let me see. There's actually a website that I might be able to access if it still works. 1 second, let me see. Okay, so that and that, and we're gonna do that. I think so. Is it still gonna work? Okay, so that didn't work. I don't actually know if I could actually do this again. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can actually get this to work right. Yeah, the websites don't even work. There used to be a way to do it. It's kind of a pain in the butt to try and describe it, because shit just doesn't work anymore. Like, all the websites aren't even there. Is this the right one? No, it's not. Okay, so to give an idea, of how, like, what it was and how it worked. Oh wait, you know what? Maybe I can actually just pull up the icons. Hold on. Yeah, funny enough, I started out this whole thing and I was like, we're gonna hang out and play video games, and then I'm like sitting here now trying to do this instead of just explaining it, which I could. Like I could just explain it, but that's not who I am. Let me see, where the fuck is it? It's not even in that. Where the what? That's oh, because that's Halo Reach. No. I guess that is at least, like, you know, some idea of what any of it is. It does have to do, it has to do with Halo. But specifically Halo 3. Yeah, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I could do, like, actually recreate it the original way anymore. All right, I'm gonna click click a few more things, see if I can find something. And then, oh wait, I know what I can do. Let me see. Ah, sick. Oh boy, somebody already did it for me, but not really what I wanted. Yeah, okay, so motherfucker. I'm getting so worked up over this. Oh wait, does this have it? No. All right, well, anyway, I'm kind of giving up on it. I'll just explain it. So what it's actually from is back in the day on Halo 3, you got to make a multiplayer emblem, and what you could do with that was you had a lot of different options. So let me pull up this window here, and this is gonna be hard and janky as I pop this in. There it is. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of that, and I gotta lock something else in. Bada bing. All right, so these are a bunch of Halo icons, and as you can see, there's a dark gray and there's a white area. Now you could have colors on either one of those, but you could also turn one of them off. You could turn the white off. So for example, you could have this spade and it would just be the spade, or you could have it in the circle. You could have this anvil that says race, race, and then you could have it just be the lightning bolt. Well, what mine was I had the smiley face, and it had the little two dots, and it had the smile, and that was, if you turn the icon off, it would just be the smiley face. Well, there was a background to every single emblem, and it's hard to find. Like, that's actually what I was struggling to find, is the backgrounds. Oh, actually, this has a couple on here. So you can see in the background, actually this one has the one I'm looking for. It's very hard to see in the background. This one's actually very close. Actually this one is. So you can see how this sort of has like a circle here, and then there's like these little off branches, and you can also see the same thing in the background on this. Oh, and it's also on this little grunt here. So like you can see this circle and these little 5 lines. Well, if you took the smiley face and you turned off the background layer of the smiley face and put it on this layer, which this was called Dreamcatcher, you would get this. And this is what I ran with in Halo 3. Now you can obviously you can see that mine is I've altered mine from the original design. I actually have a mathematical equation that's saved in a document from my old computer that I've based it off of, and by that I mean, like, I know the specific on I think it's on a 5,000 or 3,000 by 3,000 like size image. I know the exact measurements of the circle, where it starts, and all that stuff to like very specifically get my particular logo. But yeah, that's kind of the history of the Ghost. And I've had it for years. I've had it as long as I can really recall. But yeah, I always loved the little icon, and I made it thicker. The other thing that I did was what was it? It was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. That was actually where I really started to get into more using the icon. Let me see here. I want to say it's, I actually just want to say it's straight up called, yes, it's just called Ghost. So I ended up, no, actually the Ghost does not have a name. It is just the Ghost. But this is actually EA's, EA Gutenberg, I believe. But this was the icon from Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Like, this was the game company, this was the developer. And I remember playing that, and I constantly used this in the game because it was like a standard icon. So I used this for a while, and then I reverted back to my Halo 3 one because I wanted to use it in like outside sources. And by that I just mean like I wanted to put it on websites and stuff and not get EA, you know, chasing after me because, you know, God knows they're litigious. But yeah, so that's the story of the Ghost. And yeah, no, it doesn't have a name. It is just the Ghost. The only thing that I have it in comparison to any degree is that it always reminded me of a little Shy Guy, but specifically if the Shy Guy was like an undead version of the Shy Guy. And I actually took an image once. So I have a picture of a Shy Guy. I actually took that and superimposed my logo onto it. So at least in my own head, the lore of this logo is that it is actually the spirit of a Shy Guy who was caught in a dream catcher, because I wanted it to tie into like the dream catcher background in Halo 3. So I took that and I was like, this is what happens whenever a Shy Guy is killed in Mario and is caught in a dream catcher. It's stuck there. So that's what we're actually seeing this whole time. And because of that, I actually have a little Shy Guy that sits right up next to my computer. He's always just off to the right, right next to our Lord Helix. So I actually got new stuffed toys today. I gotta close all these windows. Yeah, I actually got two new stuffed toys from the game shop today. I swung by a local game store and picked up this book, Tales from the Shadows. So this is a you know, obviously I do my other half of the whatchamacallit, so you know, my D&D stuff. I gotta angle that camera back up a bit. There we go. So yeah, there we go. Tales from the Shadows. This is a Kobold Press book. Reason why I actually wanted to get it was because of Kobold Press. So, but I'm very much looking to digging into this. There's really cool one-shots in here, basically, that for the D&D group that I run at the library, they are going to be dealing with some shadow cult stories in the future, and this is going to kind of tie into that. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Like, we got an adventure for 4 to 5 characters of level 8th or higher. So that'll be fun and interesting. We got some really cool monsters in here, some magic items, and yeah, we got all kinds of stuff that I'm really looking forward to. I actually think, yeah, they actually have stuff for like every level. So I might even run some of these just like standalone one-shots. But the stuffed toys I actually got are Pokemon toys. So we got Glastier and Spectrier. These are the oh wait, can't even. There we go. Yeah, we have Glastier and Spectrier, who, for what it's worth, are the the horses of the Pokemon Calyrex. And if you follow the Rime of the Frost Maiden game, you may know that Jared's character Gerard is out there, trying to work some jobs for his patron. And what that is that he's actually on the hunt for his horse. And currently Arl has the horse, and it is in its ice form. It's in its glass tier form. It's kind of hard to see because of the white. There we go. That's a little bit easier to see. Not really. Wait, there we go. And then not a unicorn. Not really a unicorn. It does have like a sweeping kind of thing. Yeah, and then we have Spectrier, who's the ghost form, and since Gerard is kind of bathed in shadows, this is the form whenever he will have it. So that is a thing that will happen eventually within that campaign. This is kind of like one of his big things, is that he needs to get that horse and then perform the ritual to tame it. So, but yeah, I bought these because I like the characters. I like physical representations of stuff within the D&D games that I run. It's a weird thing for me. I have it laying around somewhere, but I actually have like a little stick of metal that was it was from a broken piece. What was it from? It was from a broken piece of a photo printer at work, and I was like playing with it, fiddling with it, and I took it home one day, and I was just like, all right, yeah, like whatever. And then it was around that time that it was the Phandelin 5 group. They were in Lylon, and it was the scene where Smith and Albina were helping Marigold try to heal the guy who was who was possessed, and it was Smith who learned the Cauterize spell at that point. And one of the material cost is that you need like a thing of metal, and I always thought it was really cool of the idea of somebody having a little stick of metal and using it to cauterize. So what you got about Iluna then? I actually don't know if I do have anything. I don't think I have anything. I don't think I have anything physically for Cephas, Albina, Iluna, me or you. I don't have anything for Wu or Groff or Smith or any of the other characters that appeared in Rime. So yeah, just like little things here and there that I find, but specifically, yeah, I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and quit babbling. I mean, as much as this is just a very chill stream, I'm gonna play some Tiny Rogues. I mean, I am just gonna continue babbling while we play, because this isn't like the first 15 where I'm only playing this for 15 minutes. I just gonna play because with everything that's going on recently with D&D, Wizards, and Hasbro, I just kind of need like some time to like chill out. And I've been playing this game a lot, so I just want to relax with this a bit. So if you don't know, this is hold on, we gotta turn down some of these sound effects. Excuse me. If you don't know what Tiny Rogues is, it's just a little roguelike game. It's pixel art. It kind of has this like old arcade CRT thing that you can have like like, you know, really crazy. And I kind of love it for the layout we have here, but it kind of hurts my eyes to have it that much. So I generally keep it about 50. Like the this is like bright green. Yeah, I like every time I you know, go down to like the very bottom of this, it just looks too clean. And like this is just way too much, so I generally keep it about 50. But yeah, I just I've been playing this a lot. I have all but one character unlocked, and I know in order to get him I have to beat the game with all other characters, and I'm not too great at the non-magic characters. I've actually been trying to beat it with the gunslinger. I actually just want to play it like and kind of relax with this particular run. But I had a lot of fun with this game. I actually beat it my second time playing it through. Wisdom. Okay, so to know about the mage, the amount of damage you have in the corner, once you get your mana filled up the whole way, you do a bonus amount of damage. And then there's actually there's a thing you can get later on called discharge, where if this is 100%, it just explodes and does a big AoE. I would go to the Cursed Shrine, but I always go to this. Oh, sweet. I got a Prism Staff. That's actually really good early on. That's going to help me. Now, specifically about playing as the mage, you have an offhand weapon, which gives me a +1 mana. If I have a two-handed weapon, I obviously can't use that. So at least to that, I'm not going to get my extra mana. But I'd rather have this out and out damage. We're gonna grab an accessory. So every floor is 10 levels, or 10 rooms, and then you fight a little boss. Boss always has 2 stages, so you fight him once and then you fight him again. And that was very fast because of the item that I just got. Oh, look at this. Perfect. Spawns a mana star every 5 seconds, and it does have an attunement, which means I just have to beat 2 rooms and then I get to use it. That means that every 5 seconds a little star will pop up on the ground, and that'll give me that mana that you see down in the corner. Because as you watch, you'll see that well, right now I'm not hitting enemies, but for every shot that I hit somebody, that goes down. And that's because I'm using my mana, which is actually why it's really beneficial later on to pick up discharge if I can get that. All right, what do we got? Is this ice? Oh, it's an arc staff. That's lightning. That's really good. I do not touch melee or ranged, just because I'm playing as a whatchamacallit. So we got far better damage on this, plus it's also elemental, so that's really going to help us. I want more money. Look at that. That's great. Now the thing is you'll notice this arcs between enemies, which is really good in rooms where I have a bunch of enemies. I'm gonna keep this on hand in my second spot, just because it's actually easier to get my finger to. Because the nice thing is that when I get to the boss, it's actually a lot easier for me to take them down using the Prism Staff. Money. I also want to crank up my intelligence as high as possible. The higher my intelligence, the more likely I am to get upgrades that are based on intelligence, which is always stuff that's going to benefit my particular character. All right, so here we go. Got the Perfect. And what I get? 30% increased stamina recovery speed. Okay, so that just means my dashes go a little bit faster. Yeah, Glenn, how's your chicken parm? All right, what do we get? 30% attack speed. That's actually really, really decent. I do have the ability to re-roll stuff, but I'm not going to re-roll that at the moment. I can also use this later on if I get something that I don't like. Nice. And then, yeah, so each room has the chance to spawn anything. There's chests with different stuff in it. This particular, oh, perfect, you see? This particular one had stuff that benefits mages. So now I get a 25% increase damage bonus for my mana. I actually do have a little bit of money, so you know what, I'm gonna go to the tavern. Purging stones, it would work if I had curses. Ooh, Santa, can I get a present for 20 gold? Yes. And we got the wizard. I do not want a storm in the bottle. I can't afford it, sir. No, I do not want to stay here overnight. What I get? Nice. All right, yeah, so basically the tavern here is really cool because there's different NPCs that can show up in it. There's ones that will give you potions, ones that will give you spells, some that'll repair your armor. The one woman, the medic, will heal you, and then you can refresh it. You can also buy booze from the bartender, which makes you stronger but also reduces your speed. So I generally don't do that because I want the attack speed. But I need gold. But what I just got from Santa was I got 2 coins, and I also got this. I got Green Blossom, which gives me plus 1 stamina for the next 10 rooms. So that's actually a big thing in this. There's potions and there's infusions. So I don't have any at the moment, but then there's also shrines. So if I go into here, you'll see that I get stamina plus 1 for the next 10 rooms. So probably bump that. Now I get 2 extra stamina, so I now have 4 dodges. You can actually get stuff that makes certain things permanent. Potions, for example, you can get ones that you can get a thing. It's an intelligence upgrade called Mage Blood that makes potions permanent. There's another one which is a dexterity buff that makes infusions permanent, and I kind of want to do permanent infusions eventually, like get those with a dexterity run, but I generally only ever get Mage Blood just because I play as a mage more often. I play as a sorcerer. And I'm not gonna lie, the main reason I play as a sorcerer is every time I beat a floor, I gain a soul heart, which is the blue heart in the top left. I'm not gonna do this because this is how you fight Megadeth at the end, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. Fuck it, we're fighting Megadeth. I'm gonna give it a shot. All right, I gotta break these I gotta break this crystal. But yeah, I play as a sorcerer because at the end of every floor you actually get a soul heart, and those are just like temporary HP. It's an ability called Mage Armor. Hoping to level up soon. Oh, thank God. So I really want to level up. See if I can get something good. Okay, so we're gonna grab another key. Yeah, there are things worse than death. Megadeth. That ain't that the truth. Yeah. Do I want a? I don't have mage blood yet, so I'm not gonna grab a thing of potions. There is one that I do want very badly because I have a lightning staff. I'm trying to get affiliate. If you don't mind following back, thanks in advance. My sister's bean, bro. I'll think about it. All right, what I get? I got a laser gun. Okay. Yep. Whatever. I honestly need a selling room. It's just a name that makes everyone laugh. Yeah, I mean, I did laugh. Yeah, I'll consider it. Yeah, give me a follow. I'll follow you back after this. No harm or no foul. I won't be a prude about it. I get the grind. Dude, cut yourself. You literally locked with loaded with mage blood. Yeah. All right, let's see. Can I get mage blood? I either want mage blood or discharge. Keen Mind is also really good, but I'm only gonna get a 9% upgrade right now. This is also really good, but I'm gonna roll, see if I can get. I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? Oh, thank God, discharge. All right, so now you're gonna see that this down here in the bottom right is not gonna drop anymore. Ooh, I have enough to upgrade my weapon. Nice. Yeah, max power, baby. Look at that. Arc staff +3, almost 300 damage. So now you'll see whenever I am close enough, I just do a giant area of effect to hit them. And I keep recycling that every single time that I pick up stars. Once I get the, the max in my inventory or in my, loadout down there, it'll do that little explosion. So we got spider summon tome. I need to get rid of something. Honestly, I need to drop something. I swear to God, I'm about to go into the level where I really could use antidote. So I'm gonna leave my starter wand. Bye, magic missiles. You were good, but I don't care. Am I? Oh no, I'm going into fire territory. Okay. Oh no, okay, no, I was right. I mean, no, I'm not in the fire territory. Yeah, no, this is the place where there's fucking poison ass things. What is that? Oh, that's a lance. Kugelblitz. Oh yes. What a great fucking thing. Okay, I need to get rid of something. As much as I want to get rid of this, I want to sell that. This prism staff has been helping me. Oh, fuck. You know what? Get rid of the jester boots. Grabbing Kugelblitz. All right, we're going to put that in there. Okay, so this is great because it, like, zaps between enemies. So, like, when I'm in here, it's arcing across enemies. And now that I have it fully upgraded, it can actually arc across, I think, 3 or 4. I'll show you what Kugelblitz can do. But first, I got to sell some shit. So, we're going to sell this laser gun. Yep. Also, I don't ever use the tomes. But this particular one is really funny because it just summons spiders. So, for what that's worth. So we're gonna sell this. Yeah, I don't want the spider tome. Good. We're gonna load those up back there. And we're gonna put you there. So I'm still rocking 2 lightnings, but I also have the prism staff, which is good. I need to get Kugelblitz upgraded because it is powerful once we get up to a higher level. This is why it's great. The orbs just kind of go and keep attacking for me. So it's lovely. Infuse weapons with fire, lightning, or cold permanently. I've never seen this. Okay, I'm gonna put it on both. Is that counting across? That's counting across all of them. Holy shit. What a fucking room this is. Oh my god, yeah, I'm about to fucking wreck shop. I am so glad I chose to do a death run. Or a mega death run. Fuck yeah, we're gonna fucking roll right through this. Holy hell. Megadeth don't know what coming for his ass. Offhand, yeah, I'm not picking up melee. All right, yeah, watch this. Check this shit out. Look how fucking great that is. Like, it is still good compared, like, this is still really good against single targets, but fucking Kugelblitz is so good. Ooh, this is actually pretty decent. This creates little orbs that float around me, but I lose 1 mana, but I'm actually not too upset about that. So yeah, we'll roll with this for a bit. Yep, okay, water level. Now I gotta deal with sharks. There we go. Oh, level up. I need to put something down. You know what, we're just gonna do that. Grab that, cool. I still don't have Mage Blood, but I'm kind of holding out that I'm gonna get it very soon. That'd be really good if I can get Mage Blood. I am a mage, yes. Well, I'm a sorcerer. What did I just pick up? The fuck did I just pick up? Am I blind? Therefore, yeah, I know that I'm full of mage blood, but I need the actual, like, upgrade. Unfortunately, I can't just, you know, be like one of those action stars that has to sacrifice an amount of blood and he just can cut his hand open. All right, yeah, now we're upgrading Kugelblitz. All right, let's get some intelligence here. Come on. Give me a fucking level up. I don't even know what level I'm at. Hold on. Okay, sweet. I'm gonna get a level up. Come on, Mage Blood. Nope. It doesn't actually matter, but I'm gonna grab Decay, because now what I'm gonna do is I have this one, which allows me to exchange a roll, so I can actually change out Decay. Static blows. Oh, sweet. I got the one that gives me more lightning. Okay, I'm not upset about that. It just means that, like, there's a 25% chance that whenever I attack, I'm going to deal a random lightning shock to an enemy. So I'm kind of bulked out right now. Okay. All right, we got Meh. That's staying here. Yeah. Okay. Motherfucking Death Defy. God damn it, I had to use it already? That's gonna hurt me later. Fuck. I might have to hope that I actually get a strength-based level up. Okay, now we're in the fire levels, which kind of suck because there's a lot of AoEs in here. Ooh, shock wand. Okay, that's actually pretty okay. I have no need to use it. Oh, this will be nice. Let's see what weapons they have. Yeah. Nah, they're really all garbage. Am I at 24? Okay, so I have another level up coming. Yeah, let's grab some mana. A free mana boost will be nice. Okay. I can actually just leave that. And this is gonna grab me a level up. Come on, Mage Blood or Tough. Fuck. +2 hearts. It's actually good. I'm gonna use that. Gain a heart soul when you defeat a boss. This is actually gonna be better off. I actually do still have some level ups, but I'm running low on bombs and I'm going to need those. Thanks. Okay, sure. I guess magic weapon. Fuck. I know that's a little hard to see, but basically the Phoenix like puts itself in a little egg and then like comes out and attacks you. What is this? Those ones are always weird. Oh, this is the, okay, I was gonna say this is the Archon one. I get to teleport with that one. Yeah, that one's fucking weird. No, this needs to be in level, yeah, slot 2. I still haven't used that die, and I need to use that die eventually. Just to get out of my fucking inventory. Alright, okay, so this is the Succubus's, castle. So, okay, at least I know what I'm dealing with at the end. Yeah, it's, you basically fight the Phoenix. It puts itself into an egg, and then it just cranks up its defense as it's shooting out fireballs. It's really obnoxious. Oh no. Alright, fuck it. We're leaving the die. Where could it lead? Oh. Ah, the Hand of Blood. Okay. This is an item. This is a thing you can carry. Obviously, I have no need for it. What we got in here? Increase effect of chill and frostbite. I don't have anything that's gonna help me with that. Whoa. Yes. Seriously? This is a Soul Forge. Oh my god, fuck yes, please. I get to go level 4 on stuff. Okay, I gotta be real with you guys. I have only ever once seen this. And I don't care about my souls. Like, my souls can fuck off because I'm not trying to buy any characters. That's what you use souls for, is you buy characters with them and like outside upgrades. I'm gonna fucking upgrade each one of my main items. Holy shit, this is amazing. Oh my god, that's awesome. All right, so I need to put this back there. We're gonna grab that. Holy shit, that is sick. Oh my god, we got +4. Holy god. That's gonna be great later on. Wow. All right, thanks, Soul Forge. You're the best. All right, I can sell some stuff good. I need to. All right, so we're gonna sell the Archon because I really don't need you. Fuck. I'm gonna get rid of the Arc Staff. As much as I did just load that thing up, I really don't need it. That's all I'm gonna sell because the other two are definitely useful later on. Nice. I want luck. All right. Awesome. What am I at? Okay, I got 2 more. Ooh, epic weapons. Let's see what we got. Oh, Dark Wizard Staff. What is that? Demon Repeater. That's pretty sick. We're just gonna grab this. I'm not... Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm probably never gonna get to a Soul Forge again. It does decent amount of damage, but it's... fuck. Between the 2 of those, I wish I would have had this upgraded. All right, I'm gonna leave that there. Yeah, you know what? Actually, we're gonna sell the Prism Staff. No. This does less damage, but it does dark damage. This does considerably less damage. All right, yeah, we're just gonna get rid of the Prism. All right, I got a good bit of money. Let's see who we got in here. All right, yes, enchant my Kugelblitz. Hulking. Nice. All right, enchant Quick. And I'm not going to worry about the Dark Staff because, you know what? Hold on. What potion are you selling? No, I don't need luck. Don't want to talk to you. You know what? Yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's get something on here. Okay, hulking as well. Nice. We're just gonna go through here so I don't have to fight anything, and we'll grab gold chest. Fuck yeah, baby. Extra damage. That's great. Awesome bombs. Grabbing intelligence. We're going to get a level up again. Lovely, lovely. Let's see what we get. Mage Blood! And I'm on level 9. This is probably better because I just get extra damage. But we're going to go Mage Blood because now I get to spawn a Mana Star and I still get a 20% damage bonus. This is great. So not only do we get a damage bonus, but now I also get all the potions that I can find are going to be permanent. Okay. Is this better? No. Okay. So now I gotta go and fight the last crystal. Shouldn't be too bad. Because I do have a good amount of health, I will say. All right, so now the cool thing is whenever I grab this, you'll see I have those 2 crystals in 7 and 8. That's going to become 1 crystal. And I could actually, if I wanted to, if I actually wanted to like go in and pick a trait of my own, I could actually sacrifice that thing. But as long as I take that thing to the end of the game, where normally I would fight death, he'll be like, blah, 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 blah. You think you're better than me. That's my crystal orb. You know, here I come, Megadeth time. Permanently increases movement speed by 15%, but inflicts the curse of -5. So I just get a speed boost. Thanks. That's really dumb. Honestly, I kind of love whenever the curse shrines are like that. It's like, hey, you're now cursed to move a little bit slower, but we're gonna make you move really fast. Oh, I got another soul heart. I probably won't need another key. Yeah, I won't need another key. Where would it lead? Where does it lead? Oh, crystals. I just get souls. Why can't I break? Okay, I was say, why couldn't I break those? I don't have any money. Ooh. Yeah, let's roll it. Nice. Strength. We're gonna go souls. All right, so this is gonna be the fight with death. Yeah, here we go. Your kind is a plague. Humans never satisfied. You trespass sacred grounds. You disrupt nature's peace. You break the cycle of life and death. You serve a false god, collecting souls. My souls. Our little dance ends here. You are nothing. Yeah, cool. About to beat your fucking ass. You're about to teleport. Ah. Okay. Nope, sorry. Yeah, I clicked the wrong button. There we go. Yeah, there you are. Okay. I was gonna say, let it be known, I've never beaten Megadeth. I have beaten Death. I have never beaten Megadeth. So, there we go. I was honestly kind of expecting that. Which it sucks. but it is what it is. Yeah, all that mage blood. That's right. All that mage blood was out there. Oh boy. Yeah, so okay, so now you get the gist of the game. And I will say I've beaten Death 6 times with the sorcerer. I've beaten him once with the pyromancer and once with the cleric. So obviously, you know, mages are more my thing in this. But this is the cool thing about this. So like the pyromancer does not necessarily just have to be like a spellcaster character. They just get this starting bonus where like everybody starts with, you know, 4 points in something. Yeah, except for the deprived. So you see everybody has like these stats here add up to 4 or 3. Yeah, if you're the deprived or the hero, but that's because you're getting other things with that. So I just enjoy playing as a sorcerer because he starts with a 4 intelligence, plus he gets that soul heart, and the cleric also recovers 3 points of health at the start of each round. The pyromancer is great because his weapons just deal fire damage, so you're just burning everything. But the gunslinger is pretty slick because he is actually able to get extra damage whenever he dashes, and I've been trying to beat it as him, and I've gotten to Death. I haven't been able to beat Death with him, so wait, I have my controls wrong. No, that... Okay, hold on. We're gonna make that R. This should be mouse middle, and this should be right. Okay, cool. I didn't know why that wasn't... Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that was right. It's a pain in the butt whenever I, like, go to a different room and my gun's not loaded because I'm down to, like, 1 bullet. Oh, yeah, simple chest. Oh, it's a mimic. We got, oh yeah, movement speed. Okay. I looked up at that sticker. I was thinking to myself, like, man, this past week felt like a month. Every day I was just like glued to my phone thinking about, you know, the state of D&D and everything going on with it. Constantly waiting for some kind of update, and now that Wizards finally put out, you know, some message where they're like, hey, you know, we're gonna be real cheeky and we're gonna say we rolled a 1. But at least for them saying that, you know, they're gonna redo the OGL that they proposed, and then they're going to, you know, they're gonna take out the royalty clause, which I'll see it when I believe it. Yeah, that's a thing. We already know what they're willing to put out there. What are they going to change it to? You know, and like a lot of us said, if they would have just, you know, left the 1.0A OGL alone, we would have been done. It would have been fine. You know what? You want your new system to be locked behind a paywall? Be my guest. Okay, we'll have 5e. We'll move on. You know, that's why Cobalt has, you know, this big old 5e sticker, because it's compatible with 5e. You know, that's why in You know, in this, in the very back, oh, would you look at that? It's the OGL. Crazy, right? You know? Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, if they just would have left that alone, could have moved on with our lives. We could have, you know, done something else. Not worried about something like this. Ooh, Relentless Assault. Oh shit, that would actually be really cool if I got that. And there's one that lets me auto reload whenever I dash. Huh. This one though is pretty good. That third one dealing extra damage. Oh, what I got? Double shot bow and blessed thorn. 200, yeah. Greedy mega corporations. Yeah, well, that is the reality of it, you know. We live in a capitalist society where we literally have laws that not only protect companies' right to do this, actually, but incentivizes them. Publicly traded companies are required to do what is in the best interest of the shareholders over anybody else. You know, if firing 50 employees is better for the shareholders' bottom line, legally they're required to do that. What they don't often take into consideration is that by firing 50 employees, you make service worse, which means people stop going to whatever business you have, and then in the end you're SOL because, you know, now you lost your business, which, you know, I think that's what Wizards is very quickly realizing. You know, they're now realizing that they were trying to do something that would have lined their pockets and made their shareholders you know, tons of money. Ooh, what's this? Hellslingers. Nice. You know, would have made their shareholders tons of money. But now they've kind of, you know, burnt their castle to the ground by doing this. And yeah, they did it under the guise of the, they were trying to protect themselves from, you know, from other mega corporations. There was something they said recently about shareholders. Not real. I don't know if that's referring to the fact that, like, Hasbro, like, days before this all happened, was rated like one of the top just companies, like, you know, that they were just and fair. It's like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, they got an ethical award, yeah. But yeah, you know what, it sucks, you know, it really sucks to see this happen to the hobby. You know, I mean, it's the hobby that I love. It's, you know, something I have devoted a quarter of my life to, you know. And that's funny that I actually sat on that thought the other day. You know, I've been playing D&D now since 2014. I've been playing it for 8 years, because I started playing, like, I actually started playing regularly the year 5e was released, which, you know, let's put this into perspective. Okay, in 2014, I was 5 years out of high school. I had, you know, I'd gone through college. I had secured a decent job working for a, you know, okay company, getting paid well. I mean, I'm still there 10 years later. That was a year that I proposed to my wife. you know, that was the vacation that I proposed to her, and that was the vacation that I had just a week before leaving got my core book set. I got the DM's guide, I got the player's handbook, I got the monster manual, and I took all 3 of them down with me. And I also took my Kindle and I started reading through the Deltora Quest series once again for like the 5th time, and started writing my very first campaign while I was on the vacation that I proposed to my wife. Okay, D&D has been with me ever since. When I got back from vacation, you know, I realized that this was something I wanted to do very badly. I had already played through 2 one-shots with my friends Kevin and Justin, and we loved it. You know, that was the one where I always talk about where, you know, I was constantly rolling a D12 instead of a D20 for, you know, for like 3/4 of the game. But to think that from 2014, you know, I'm gonna be 32 this year, to think that for a quarter of my life I have been diving into this hobby, dedicating weekends and days in between, and how I've grown from that, of different aspects of my life, meeting different people through the hobby, you know, growing some of my greatest friendships through the hobby, and the profound impact that it, as just, even if you just look at it as a game, as just a game, that aspect has had such a profound impact on my life that it's mind-boggling. And to watch something like that cascade down in front of you, it's hard. And it's why for the past week I've like, and my coworkers will attest to this. I know Glenn's out there, you know, he and I work together. I've been glued to my phone at work because I'm like constantly wanting to know what's going on. And you know, it's hard to see your hobby, you know, be affected in such a grandiose manner. And, you know, then you think to yourself like, hey, you know, it is just a game, but it's not. You know, it's D&D's never just going to be a game to me anymore. It's not something that can ever just be a game to me. I mean, D&D, like, I could say Wizards of the Coast can just, you know, whatever, like that's fine, but like, at least regarding the tabletop community, that's something I'm never going to give up. You know, and that's why I want to start, you know, like, I have supported Kobold Press. I have some of their digital books, but that's why, like, I feel like right now is the time that, like, so much change needs to happen. And then there's the, you know, the situation of like D&D Beyond. You know, I run 3 games, and those 3 games are all through Beyond. And I've, you know, looked into different websites about, you know, where else could we make sheets, you know, and manage them and monitor them the same way. You know, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing with the stream the same way, you know, considering everything's through Beyond and it has a, you know, shared die roller. And then I also have the thought of like, well, would I switch over to Pathfinder? You know, there's different websites out there. Path Builder allows you to build a character sheet, and I played around with that, and it's manageable. Add to E+. Well, yeah, I mean, that like everything that we do is with the stream regarding is through Encounter Plus, and I know E+ isn't going anywhere. You know, I've already, you know, I know that they're not going anywhere, because one of the nice things right now for them is the fact that Encounter Plus is not built specifically into it's system agnostic. You know, Encounter Plus, that's actually one of the really nice things, is just, you know, it has display manners that are associated with D&D. Like on my side, when I pull up a monster sheet, like, it is formatted like a 5e sheet, but there's nothing in that design that is inherently copyrightable, so they can't, that's fine. And even if they change the layout, like, to make it a standardized font or, you know, layout, it is what it is, but like, they have no affiliation to that stuff. Everything is through own player input, which is actually a huge thing that they did in the very beginning, because unless they actually wanted to partner with Wizards, they couldn't put that stuff, they couldn't put everything in there. So like, they had some basic things, but as long as they take out those basic things, they're fine. Encounter Plus will continue on. The hard things is that, especially with that, you know, 1.1, that it was cutting things away from the SRD. Would things that pull information from D&D Beyond be affected? That I don't know. That would be something that you know, George would have to figure out. But yeah, you know, like I said, it's rough. You know, I consider, I've been sitting here the past couple days thinking about, you know, would I switch to Pathfinder? And, you know, I bought the beginner's box for it, so I'm gonna at least look into that. I'm gonna see that if that's a semi-viable option for me. I mean, I know that, you know, Encounter Plus doesn't have like a, you know, whatchamacallit, you know, a Pathfinder setup, but everything's pretty much the same. You know, like a strength check is still a D20 plus your modifier. You know, and a 14 in Pathfinder in your strength is still a +2 modifier. So it's not like I have to worry about so much. It's just going to be a lot of like little things. You know, again, each stack of tipsiness also grants, excuse me. Interesting. No, I know. Yeah, I know. It's not D&D's fault. Yeah, 100%. You know, it's Wizards. You know, and that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why, you know, like, and I also know, or no, sorry, I said Wizards. No, hold on. This isn't even really Wizards' fault. This is Hasbro's fault. You know, that's, yeah, and Pathfinder is very similar. Pathfinder is just 3rd edition. That's really it. It's 3rd edition D&D. It's 3.5. It's 3.75, really. But, you know, that's the thing. It's like, it's not that different. So it's not crazy to say like, hey, you know, we're gonna move from, you know, to say that we're moved from D&D to Pathfinder. Realistically, the one thing that would have to change is the characters. You know, there's not going to be a phantom rogue, as far as I know, in Pathfinder. There's not going to be, you know, the same homebrew setup that I have for some of my players. And it's possible that I could just make those, you know, in there and just switch around some numbers to make sure that things aren't overtly broken. Because I also know that Pathfinder has some higher stat levels. You know, because I think that there's like, you can be trained in a skill, you can be an expert, you can be something else and master. I don't know all the ins and outs, but like, I'm so used to the 5e ecosystem that I can look through, you know, this book, see a skill check and know exactly what, you know, needs to be done. So there's a lot of things I need to, you know, keep in mind. I got to keep an open mind. You know, the other thing is that god awful. Wow, god awful grenade launcher. We're gonna grab the +1 Maelstrom just for fun. Look at that. What is this? Offer up 15 gold to the goddess of sin. Oh, sweet. I gained 3 absolution. That's lovely. Dude, this flail is basically the same thing as the Holy Bibles. That's terrible. I mean, the other system that I'm considering is the Easy D6 system, which is far more broken down. Like, it is, yeah, Goddess of Sin. When I dash, this is good. Yeah, the other system I'm considering is the Easy D6 system, which is very, very straightforward. You know, it's not like, you know, oh, what is that? Critical hit multiplier? Sure, we'll grab that. You know, the Easy D6 system basically just says, you know, hey, you want to climb a tree? Well, roll a D6, and you have to roll a 3 or higher, and that's it. You know, you just have to roll a 3 or higher, and you got it. Fuck this. You know, and it's like, oh, you're skilled at this particular thing, like you're a good tree climber. All right, cool. Roll that D6 twice, and you just have to pass one of them. What is that? Oh, snow launcher, sick. Which is actually the same thing as the Hero Kids, you know, system. It's basically the same thing, but it actually has like classes with abilities and you know, like there's backgrounds and stuff that play into things and give you boons, like, you know, make you better at certain things and give you an ability, but it doesn't have a level up structure, which is actually the craziest thing about the Easy D6 system, is that, like, you're not a level 1, you know, cleric, you know, or you're not a level, you know, 5 rogue. You might be a level 5, you might be just be an acrobat. But, you know, when you do something, like, let's say that you're playing through and you, I don't know, eventually, you know, earn a level up, whatever a level up may be. Well, maybe you just gain a boon in something, you know, and so it's like, okay, cool, your you know, your weapons deal X amount extra damage, you know, from here on out, or like you deal an extra, you know, point, or you roll another D6. My concern with simpler systems is not being as fleshed out with what I guess you're saying. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's looking at it from the fucking dropped a bomb. It's looking at it from the perspective of D&D is very structured and rules centric. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. This kind of sucks. We're gonna do 50% more damage, but 25% less attack speed. Ooh, a genie. Yeah. I want power. Oh shit, did you just fucking upgrade that the whole way? Wow. Okay, cool. So that's the thing, like, you know, in D&D there's you have classes with a leveling system, and that's the same way with Pathfinder. You know, Pathfinder has, you know, your paladin you know, can go up to level whatever, and you know, your rogue can go up to whatever, and at every level you are going to get something. You might get a feat, you might get a class ability, you might get a subclass ability. It's very much like D&D. Now, regarding that, I know one of the things that is very much the case is there's no multi-classing in Pathfinder. So you just are what you are. So that's a major aspect, you know, that's definitely different from, you know, from 5th edition, is you can't mix and match your rate or your not your levels or your races, but your classes. So you can't be like a thief, or you can't be like a rogue paladin or something like that. Similar systems might. Oh wait, hold on. What am I looking at? I gotta kill these things before I read text. You love creating characters, but they're so substantial with me. So, but that is the thing. Like, there are D&D's not going away. I can always sit down with some random subclass that I see online, or that you know, a book like Tales from the Shadows comes up with, and because I think this has a subclass in it. No, this has a background. I think it was the other book that had the subclass, but you know, that's the thing. Like, yeah, I can definitely sit down with D&D or Pathfinder and say, like, okay, you know, this is my, you know, whatever, like, this is my check Discord. Check Discord. I'm checking my Discord. I'm not seeing anything. Awkward Annie, what am I checking? Yeah, you know, like, I can definitely sit there and, you know, theory craft with a you know, a particular class or subclass or whatever it may be. But it did seem 1D&D was leaning towards reduce. I mean, they're not. I don't feel like 1D&D was moving to reduce multi-classing. I mean, they're still giving you the multi-class ability. That's definitely not a thing that they're taking away. I think what it was that you know, let's heal up. I think the big thing is that they're trying to make things, you know, move up closer into the subclasses. Fuck, that didn't do me any good. I mean, they definitely reduced. What the fuck is this? Watching consumer reward feed souls? Yes. Oh, sick. Oh my god. A Gatling gun? Kidding me? What else can I get? Evade? Oh my god, wow, that's actually really good. We're gonna drop that. We're gonna grab the arc. Yeah, we're gonna grab that. Sure, why don't I spend the last... Oh, that sucked. So that's the thing. I mean, yeah, I could see, you know, the idea of them trying to reduce multi-classing. I think more what it was that they wanted to standardize things. Like, you can still get a pretty decent dip into some of the certain classes that they've added to 1D&D if you take a 1 level dip. But I definitely feel like they are moving away from, you know, that kind of style of game. But oh well, I mean, that people are still going to sit there and, you know, theory craft about a certain setup. That's never going to go away. Yeah, standardizing is 100% what they're doing. You know, they put everyone's subclass at 3, which, sure, I get it. I don't like it necessarily because, you know, it makes more sense for a paladin to have their oath at an earlier level. It makes more sense for a sorcerer to have their sorceress origins at an earlier level. And I get that you can make the argument of like, oh, well, you know, a sorcerer has their sorceress origin, but their powers haven't fully emerged or something like that. Like, okay, sure. We can give it whatever excuse, you know, we have. But I still think that, you know, a cleric should go into the game already having a, you know, a domain. Oh, well, that sucks. I don't need that. You know, let's just grab it anyway. But yeah, and definitely, you know, simpler systems like EZD6 is going to move away from that. You can't really theory craft, you know, classes and subclasses when that literally doesn't exist. You know, in EZD6, you have a class, and you have a background, and that's about it. You have your ancestry, which it does call them. Actually, Pathfinder calls them ancestries, which I actually realized that might be why D&D wouldn't name their shit ancestries, because that's actually what Pathfinder calls them. So that's a thing. But like, I like the EZD6 system. I actually think it's really good. But it is very much meant for players that are better at just role-playing the stuff that they do within the bounds of, like, the reality of the game, and just kind of going with the flow more. Because, for example, in it, you actually don't have, like, a spell list. There are spell scrolls that say, like, you know, this does this, but you're actually kind of supposed to come up with your own spells, which is a very interesting thing. So species is another one that other things use. But here's the thing. You can call them races, you can call them species, you can call them ancestries. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you can't copyright that term. You can't copyright the term ancestry. So it does, like, they could use it, you know, and it would be, I still believe it's more suiting. Not gonna get on that soapbox again, but no, like, I really like how in the, you know, the EZD6 system, it is kind of more up to you to really determine what your character can do. Like in that game, all weapons do the same amount of damage. It's not like in 5e where a great sword does 2d6 and a long sword does 1d8 or 1d10 depending on how you hold it. Everything just does 1d6 worth of damage, and that's it. So, like, it's not harder. It's, you know, it's easy to, you know, to just say, like, okay, you know, my character is a rogue. You know, like, let's say that I want to play a rogue in it. I want to play a halfling rogue. All right. So I just say, okay, my character's a rogue and I'm carrying 2 daggers, and I'm going to take the ability that lets me wield 2 weapons. So there is like, you have to pick abilities and stuff. So it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna pick this ability which allows me to have, you know, 2 weapons. And so now when I attack, I have to make 2 separate attacks, and if each of them hits, I deal 2 strikes. That's also another thing. You don't have a pool of hit points necessarily. Everyone just has like 3 hit points, which is really nice. And so like if you're hit by an attack, what the fuck was that? Like if you're hit by an attack, you just take a strike, and a strike is just 1 point of damage in a sense. So that's kind of nice because that works. Ooh. Hell yeah, we're gonna grab that. We're also gonna grab this strength. Reload time, nice. Why does it... Oh, okay, I was gonna say, why does it look like I have the other gun? You know, fuck it, I need that. You know, and honestly, maybe after this, you know, maybe I'll jump over to the tavern. I'll take a walk over there, and you know, we can look over that. Because I think it's a good system. I think it's very simple. Like I said, I think that's definitely something that some of the players that I play with might not be too keen on it, because it is very like much that the players have to put forth more effort in what they're doing. Like, it's, whereas D&D can be a lot more tactical, you know, where it's, you have some players that are very much just into the combat side of D&D, where they want to wait till it's their turn, roll their dice, swing their things, and you know, there you go. You know, ECD6 doesn't have that. I don't think I have enough intelligence to get Mage Blood, so I'm just gonna grab that. What does this gun do? Wait, why is that pulling up? Oh, it's magical, that's why. Lousy. Oh wow, it's actually pretty decent. I need to upgrade these. No, those are good. I need to, I can't upgrade that. It seems maybe too simple trying to learn why it's not. Like, Steve would worked hard to build having, yeah. So, and that's the thing. You know, that's exactly the thing. But with that, that's kind of where there is more freedom with that. So if Steve wanted to play a like, you know, a Warforged or something like that, that's not out of the question. And if he wants to have a really high HP, that's something that he could get in like a level up. So, you know, eventually down the line, he could, you know, he could have, like, he could get some kind of boon that would give him an extra strike. You know, something that is gonna be where he can take an extra hit. Or maybe he has, maybe he gets some piece of armor that gives him the ability to absorb some, you know, some extra damage, because that's another thing. It's kind of like World of Darkness in a way, where when you get hit by an attack, you have your hit points, and you also have your armor class, or your armor rating, but you have to roll to save against the attack. Yeah, I figured as much as I was gonna die. All right, you know what? Oh, my neck. So here, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna jump over there. Close out of here and go ahead and turn the arcade off. We'll go ahead and unplug the machine. There we go. And jump over to the tavern. Nice. All right, so go ahead and pull this up. Easy D6. All right. I meant to stop gaming. I mean, that run through, those run throughs are like 20 minutes long. And I kind of want to look at this. So with this, you know, one of the big things is, for example, the difficulty of stuff, you know, again, you're just rolling D6s, so it's not a huge, you know, it's not overly difficult, but getting down to the characters. Wait, did I pass it? Yeah, I passed everything. So, you know, if Steve wanted to make a character who was a, you know, beefier kind of character, you know, right here, everyone I think has 3 strikes. Or yeah, okay, so a brute. Okay, so if you know, Steve worked hard on having high HP, so he would want to probably play a brute. It is a barbarian kind of class, and you can sacrifice your own, you know, hits to deal extra damage. I know you got the PDF. I know I shared it out. I'm just you know, chatting about it. But then you have stuff like this, you know, these are your inclinations. These are kind of like your feats. So these are things that as your character is going through, this is the kind of stuff that can be, you know, what is a level up? You know, oh, you guys get an inclination. So yeah, everybody gets 2 of these to start. So maybe, you know, maybe if Steve was trying to make this very hardy kind of character, maybe he would take Iron Will, you know, or maybe he would take Tough Bastard. So when you take your last strike roll, when you would take your last strike, roll a +4 on a single die, and if you succeed, you power through and don't take the strike. That right there, I mean, that's basically it. So, you know, he could take, as a brute, he's already gonna get melee and strength tasks. So he already has melee, you know, melee or attacks. So he doesn't need this fighter boon. But maybe he takes Danger Sense, or maybe he takes Iron Will, where he has a boon under mental attack or feared. That would very much be a barbarian, you know, ability because of Danger Sense. So, you know, he's gonna be where's the races? I actually think races are they further up? Wait, I actually don't remember. I know it's like there's very little difference between them. Choose your hero path. Oh, here they are. Yeah, I was gonna say it's only 1 page. These are your species. That's yeah. So this calls them species as well. But you can be a human, where you get 3 inclinations. You can be an elf, which gives you essentially dark vision, and you get to resist mind-altering magics. Dwarves get dark vision and can resist poison. Halflings start with 2, or they heal 2 strikes and can drink as a free action. Plus, they also start with a healing potion. So, And then larger foes have a difficulty hitting you, so it's a +1 to your target number. So this means that like your AC is higher essentially. And Goblin, as you move, a Goblin can jump into cover and avoid being attacked for a turn if they don't attack. Cover broken ground must be near the Goblin, which anything that's near is within 30 feet. Anything far is just beyond that. And they have night sight. So, you know, Steve could, and honestly, like you could do something where you just make up your own. Obviously, this doesn't have Dragonborn or, you know, gnomes or anything like that. But honestly, this could just be, goblins could just be as easily gnomes as goblin. You know, instead of having a boon to resist poison, you know, Warforges wouldn't need to sleep, you know. That could be their thing. You know, maybe they would have something else, you know, whatever would be, you know, let's see. I mean, what we got? You got Sentry's Rest. I mean, you could just do Dwarf because they have resistance to poison. They're immune to disease. They have integrated protection. So maybe that would be it. Maybe kind of like Halfling, instead of larger foes have difficulty hitting you, maybe you do the ingrained protection. Well, they basically start with a boon. That's kind of the thing. Like you get a boon with your race. So like you get boons with your hero path. So if you're making a cleric kind of character, you know, you could be a friar, you know, this could be a sorcerer, you know, or a cleric, or, you know, just a caster kind of character. Rascal, this is going to be your rogue. Warden is your ranger. Warrior's obviously your fighter. Delver is kind of its own thing. Like, this is very much for dungeoneering, which is kind of sick that they actually have one specifically for that. Conjurer is just a mage. Like, this is just straight arcane mage. And then yeah, the Skald is a lore bard basically. And then the Beastmaster, yeah, like the difference between Warden, where Warden is more about tracking and like being an outdoorsman, the Beastmaster is specifically designed around having companions. So, you know, you can speak to any animal, you can convince them to help you for a limited time, and you start the game with a beast companion. Well, yeah, Beastmaster is a subclass, but Warden was also a I want to say it was under the Hunter subclass. There was a Warden at some point. Not Sky Warden. I don't know. I might be thinking of something else then. But yeah, so I might be mistaken. I swear to God, there was something that was like something Warden. But yeah, I mean, it's like two different kinds of rangers, but this is also more like a druid in a sense. So you have an animal companion that is helping you on your adventures. It can be medium, and it has 2 strikes or 1 strike for a small animal. And you have to consult with the rabble rouser or the GM for any boons that your companion may have. But yeah, like this very much boils it down, and you can just expand upon that. You know, just even by looking at the different races that are in here, maybe you want to play an Aarakocra. Okay, you're going to have your 2 boons are going to be that you have flight, we would say. So you have you know, you have the ability to fly, and I would say beyond that, either doing, you know, like night vision, you know, like whatever the dark vision thing is, Or by making it that you have an innate attack. Like, you don't have to have an item to attack, or, you know, some kind of boon to attack with just your hands, something like that. If you're playing an Aasimar, maybe you start with Hatred of the Unholy. You know, something like that. Or you get a boon. Like, you have a boon against fighting the undead. So, I kind of like this Botanicalist. Where's Botanicalist? Oh, yeah. This is the, so these are the different sorceries. So if you end up playing a Conjurer, you have to pick your circle of sorcery. So one of them is the Botanicalist. And yeah, it is that you can control plants and make them grow. Now, the plants require spell anchoring to maintain, and loss of the anchor will cause it to wither. And yeah, enemies ensnared can try to break free on a roll of a 6. So, but again, here's the cool thing about this. So if, for example, you are wanting to play, say, an elf Botanicalist. Okay, here, hold on. We're gonna do it this way, because we have some character sheets down here at the very bottom. So I'm gonna why won't it let me select the whole area? All right, we're gonna do it this way. Well, it's gonna go, yeah, weird for a second. So I'm gonna do a screen grab of that. Just gonna pop that in there, and then actually, you know what, we're gonna do it this way, half and half. Perfect. Window 2 is gonna be paint.net. Cool. So in here, you know, we'll just pop that in there. And we're going to put this back to normal. So, you know, we'll start off with, with the path. Because that's, you know, that's how we start. We choose our hero path. So obviously for this, you know, if you wanted to play like a plant-based, a plant-based caster, you'd obviously play as a sorcerer. So let's bump this up. Go. Let's crank up that font size. There we go. And we're gonna go elf. Yeah, anchoring is kind of like concentration. So hero path boons is magical mastery tasks. And hero path features, we got Mystic Barrier. We got Seeker of Sorcery. We don't even need to list that. That's just starting us off with 2 of them. And we'll do wand. We'll do a staff. We'll make it a staff. We'll kind of have it like a vine staff. So we got our inclinations. So this character, I would say probably do, so we're gonna get 2 because we're just an elf. So we'll do alchemist. You know, somebody who's more naturalistic, somebody who's like out there casting spells and making potions. And let's do what else we got? Let's do thaumaturgy. So, or you know what? No, let's do marksman. No. We're gonna do danger sense. So this character is out there traveling in the lands of the you know, of the world, is kind of in tune with the plants, and because of that, the plants kind of speak to this character. So alchemist is that you know potion making and have a boon in the identification of substances. You start with 2 free healing potions or roll for random ones. So here we go. So we're just going to put this. This is boon for identify potion. And danger sense is can't be surprised. And boon in trap avoid. There we go. Simple, easy to do. All right. So next up is going to be, health is just 3. Again, we just have 3. So aspects, this is actually kind of like your background for your character. These are things that your character is just good at. You get 2 of these, I believe. In addition, an aspect is a single line description that describes a hero's history, physical trait, or mannerisms. Try to avoid stuff that overlaps with hero paths or inclinations. Aspects give a hero some background. So yeah, I think with this we get 2 aspects, or we can create those in play. So I'm going to say that, yeah, you make your own aspects. Like, your aspects are just a thing that you come up with. So right now we have an elf sorcerer, which we're going to put up here. Our circle is going to be botanicalist. Oh, here we go. Circle of sorcery. There we go. That's easy enough. So our aspects for this character is, I don't know, like fast on your feet is okay. You know, that's a good idea. Light sleeper would probably be something, but let's come up with something on our own. So this is obviously a character who is able to probably care for themselves. You know, they're out there kind of like, I'm imagining this almost being like a druid, if you will. So I'm going to say, as a short sentence, most animals are, or I'm gonna put fast on your feet. I'm gonna put on here works well with animals. He doesn't necessarily, like, this character doesn't necessarily have some, you know, like hero path or boon that would be something like the you know, the Beastmaster, that I can speak to any animal. But this particular boon might be that you know, I get a boon when trying to deal with an animal. And yeah, a highly refined sense of smell, something like that's good. I'm gonna say we're gonna do what else we got? Something to do with the plants. Yeah, I'm kind of, yeah, like, oh, you know what? Yeah, plants and potions. You know what? Hold on. Here we go. Collector of ingredients. So I imagine this character walking around has a bag that is full of different components. Something that would be, you know, like bits and pieces of detritus and moss, maybe like a bat wing here or there, kind of like a component pouch in 5e. So the boon to this might be that because I have a boon for identifying potions as an alchemist, maybe I have a boon as a collector of ingredients that I am aware of what ingredients, or like I'm aware of what components can be used for. So whenever I see somebody walking around that has, you know, some, or if I see some kind of creature, I might ask like, hey, you know, like this thing has, is there anything that I can use on this to make a potion? And so with that, I would know what ingredients I could get off of that creature. You know, and again, kind of like my works well with animals, it's kind of in line with that. I'm gonna go back up here. I want to re-add this. So Mystic Barrier is going to come down onto there. So this is going to be Mystic Barrier. Yeah, basically like a harvester boon. Shield until absorbed or uncon. And then here, Seeker of Sorcery can cast from scrolls. Because that's actually important. One of the things about EZD6 is that not everybody can cast from scrolls. You do have to have that ability. All right, so we got our aspects now, and now we're moving on to our, you know, Circle of Sorcery, which we obviously chose Botanicalist. You know, this is going to be something where we have, so control plants and make them grow. We're gonna do requires anchoring, and go ensnared enemies break free on action of 6. So that means that an enemy would have to use an action to break free, and they have to roll a 6. Another thing about this system is that there isn't like actions, bonus actions, reactions. On your turn, you can move, act, and use a free action, and your free actions are fairly limited. All right, so now we're gonna go down to here, and honestly, we're just gonna roll some dice for this stuff. So most gear, yeah, this also has like a very it has a really cool money system. So these are your wealth levels. You don't actually track individuals, you don't actually track individual coins. You either are a have the level of pauper, cash poor, moderate wealthy, lordly, or kingly. And it's just like, hey, you came across a horde. This is a moderate horde, you know, or it's like you found a moderate amount of money. Cool. Your party is wealthy right now. You guys can afford stuff like horses and wagons, as well as permanent accommodations, and retain a small staff. So I would say, like, this is probably where most campaigns are going to sit, around moderate. But like, maybe you find a good horde. Okay, cool. You can actually have a place of your own. All right, so we're going to go on to equipment. So we're going to roll a D6 for these. So heroes start with the armor type listed in their hero path. So for a sorcerer, we have light. So we have light armor. Save against wounds on a 6. So we're going to put a 6 in here. So that means that if we are attacked and we are hit, if we are attacked, we have to roll a 6 can't shoot a bow to save themselves, though. No, this character would be a caster. This is 100% a caster. This is more of a druid, than anything. So if somebody hits us, we have to roll a 6 to see if we can avoid that. So that's a thing. And then we're going to start out with, because we're doing this, we're going to start out with 2 scrolls. So that's going to be down there. And then we got the alchemist. So we're going to start off with 2 free healing potions. So, or roll random. You know, we're going to roll randomly and see what we get. And then what else? We had botanicalist, which I don't think gave us anything. Yeah, no. All right, so there we go. So yeah, like it says here, a rascal that wears light armor cannot upgrade to more protection without taking a Bane roll. So what this means is that if I were to try and wear heavy armor or medium armor, I actually have penalties that go along with that. So allow heroes to take any weapons that fit their character. This character is just going to have a staff. That's just going to be... It's going to be right in there. He has a staff. That was what we chose because we have that hero path ability where we can, right here, we can shoot magical bolts. So we have a ranged attack. So we're going to put this up here. Staff. Why does that seem... That is a little too big. We're on 22. That's better. So we have a staff. So it's range. It's 1d6. And no crit. And 1. And we're just going to put STK. So that means that if I go to attack somebody with this, I'm basically just casting like firebolt, essentially. I'm shooting one character or one creature. I'm rolling a d6 to hit them. And if I hit them, I just deal 1 strike of damage. So that's it. Oh, magical mastery. I think... Yeah, magical mastery task. So, I'm doing something that requires a magical that requires magical mastery. I have a boon to that. So here's another thing. This still does have the penalty of if you're in melee range, you have disadvantage essentially on your attacks, because boons is that you have advantage, you roll twice, take the higher. Bane is that you roll twice, take the lowest. So that's why on the armor, if you if you're wearing heavier armor than what you should be, you have disadvantage on stuff. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are going to roll for our common gear. So I'm gonna roll a, can I do this on screen? Yeah, we'll do it like this. Give me that. What was that listed as? There we go. So there we go. We'll just have that, well, that floating right under there. Oops, shit. I did not mean to click that. Where did that go? There it is. All right, let's put that back. Really? Oh man, that is just acting up. How high does that need to be to not mess up? There we go, okay. That is so weird that it's like, it's sitting like that. Huh. All right, whatever. I guess you don't need to see down there. All right, we're gonna roll a D4. And we're gonna roll a D6. So we got a 1 and a 4. I'm gonna put my physical dice away. All right, so we're starting off with an oilskin bag. Okay, that's fine. I guess that kind of makes a little sense. Let's do the same thing. So we're gonna do a couple of these. 1 and 6, we got some preserved rations. That's pretty decent. That makes sense so far. 4-3, physical dice on cam. No, I'm not doing that. It would be so hard to see on a black background. 4 and 3. Oh, we got a whistle. Okay, so kind of love the idea of this character having a whistle in general. Considering he's good with animals, and that is probably going to be something where maybe he has you know, some animal friend out there that he's able to call or is able to do something with out there in the field. So that's kind of cool. 4-4, we have a horn, so maybe the same thing, maybe a way to alert creatures out in the wild. Possibly also to scare an animal. That might be a thing. 3 and 2, metal tongs. I ain't a fan of that. 3 and 2 again, thanks. Grappling hook. All right. You know, we'll do it this way. So we have a horn. We're gonna do a grappling hook. We're gonna take excuse me. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take that. We're gonna take a knife, and we're gonna grab a backpack. And we're also going to have separately a component pouch. You know what? Let's call it what it actually is. An ingredient pouch. So now we put all of our ingredients. So there we go. Our basic equipment, aside from the staff that we already have, we have an oilskin bag. So we have somewhere to store some kind of oil, which might be used to make some kind of potion. We have preserved rations. We're obviously out traveling a lot. We're moving through the wilderness. We have a whistle and a horn to alert people, possibly to make animals run. We have a grappling hook, probably, yeah, in order to climb trees to like find certain equipment, or like climb on the side of a mountain. You know, that might be something. And a backpack and an ingredient pouch. So again, we have this over here. And now we're going to do a couple specialty things. So kind of the same thing over here. 4-3. Ooh, we got exotic spices. That actually makes a fair ton of sense. What else we got? 3-6. Incense. Not feeling that one. Ooh, total 4-6. A deck of cards. Nope. Wow, we got 4-6, then we got 1-1. That's like the two farthest edges. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to probably say that this character would have at most stuff from group 3. So I'm going to say that he's going to have some exotic spices, just because I kind of like the idea of that more being... I'm not saying that druids, you know, wouldn't use incense. You know, sure, we'll throw that in. We'll do incense. But we're going to do... I'm going to say we're going to do profession tools. So that we have the tools that we need to do our potion making. Oh yeah, here's all the different, you know, things. And fuck, where are they? Where's the whatchamacallits? Common gear, specialty gear. Wait a second, where's the potions and stuff? Is that further down? Oh, here it is. Yeah, okay. So, wait, that's not right. Oh, it is. Yeah, okay, sorry. That is a lot further down than I thought. So we need to go down to page 88. All right, so I start out with 2 magic scrolls. And I start off with 2 potions. So for this, roll 2d6 for magic tests. Reroll any ones once cast. Yeah, okay. So roll a d6 for the group, then a d6. So this is actually going to be 2d6. So we got group 2, number 4. Galbrix's Gimme. An object you can see or know the location of teleports to your hand. So again, this is kind of the thing. You roll 2d6 for this magical test, re-roll any ones. Once you cast a scroll, burns up. So it is gone once you use this. So this is kind of crazy that, you know, you're gonna get this once, it's gonna be gone. And we got 3 and 5, which is Druzella's Dolly. You shrink to the size of a small doll for a day. 1 strike returns you to your normal size. So, honestly, yeah, I kind of want to just roll again just to see what we get. 2-5. Hypnotize. I was actually kind of looking at that one. I really liked that. Hold on. See what else we got. 2-1. All right. You know what? Yeah, we'll I'm gonna be a little choosy here. We're gonna go with Fendrex's Pheromone. And I kind of like this idea because this character is being built to be you know, not only a potion maker, but also somebody who's like out there harvesting animals. I could imagine using Fendrex's Pheromone in order to like ingratiate yourself with a group of animals or a type of animal just to get close enough to like maybe steal something from them. Like maybe you need the feather of a certain kind of bird, but they are, or from like the baby, like a hatchling. So you end up using this to like infiltrate a nest, and like you're laying there and you have to wait for this thing to hatch, or it's like gonna hatch that day, and so you use it. Something like that's pretty cool. All right, now for potions, kind of the same thing. We just roll a d6 on potions. So we're just gonna roll 2 and 3. Time reset of Taldero potion. Ignore the turn you just took and retake it. Wow, that's actually kind of broken if you really think about it. So time reset of Taldero. I don't like that being on 2 separate lines. I'm just gonna shrink that. I could see that being something, because one of the things is it is a free action to drink a potion. So I can imagine like you miss your attacks, and so you quickly like quaff this potion. And Lucilla's Lucilla's potion of perfection. You have a boon for the day in anything you wish. Wow. Okay. Sorry, we're gonna crank that down to size. There we go. Lucilla's potion of perfection. Oh yeah, and so here's one other thing. Like, these are items that players can get. Bracelet of Purging, resistance to poison, Ring of Talking. Set a 1d4 +1 in the ring. Each hero with a ring can speak to each other over an amount of distances. I actually think that's really cool, because it kind of reminds me of whatchamacallits, the Avengers, because you would have something where it's basically like, you're out there and like you hold this ring up to your ear and now you can hear them. That's actually really cool, and that might be something I'd maybe add to D&D at some point. Little trinkets, stuff like this is things that can be given out to players, and then magic weapons. And this is kind of the thing, there's still magic items that can be handed out as loot that really gives you the benefit. Like Mirror Edge, gain a boon to melee, and once a day you can blind an opponent, making them miss their turn. That's pretty sick. Mace of Divinity, gain a boon to melee and crit undead and demons on a +5 unless a 6 is needed to hit. So like certain undeads have a to hit of 6. And then something else you can do that is further down. So these are, you can kind of make your own stuff. Here it is. Yeah. So like, for example, let's say you wanted to give a player a magic item that was enchanted. So you roll a d4 plus a d6. So this is 4/4. So this is a war pick, and it is enchanted with the glide ability. So while you have this war pick, spectral wings emerge, allowing for a controlled glide. That's pretty sick. Maybe you have, so 3/6. You have a cloak, and that cloak is giving you Divine Shard. Devout followers can roll up to 4 prayer dice. So this is a cloak that is devoted to some kind of divine presence. So if your character is a devout follower, you can roll 4 prayer dice, because you roll 3d6 when you're asking for your stuff. So this is one of the cool things you can do with this, because you can just kind of randomly give magic properties. And honestly, these aren't bad for even other systems. Like with D&D, gain a boon to melee if the wielder is hit in combat and fails an armor save. The enemy who inflicted the wound also takes a wound on a +3. So something like this, a Doom Forged weapon, you know, that would be something easy enough to say, like, you know, if you miss their armor class, you take damage instead. Or this, easy enough, fire resistance. Wait, oh, Gleaming. Yeah, Gleaming's the same thing as that other one. Okay, here's your bag of holding. Almost infinite space to store small items. So you could have that ingredient pouch be a pocket dimension, and it would work the same way. Like, these are just really cool, different, you know, bits and pieces. And then, yeah, you have your karma, which karma basically is kind of like my old homebrew inspiration system. You start with 3 karma every day or every session, and if you roll like a 5, or you roll a 3, okay, but you need a 5, you can add 2 karma to that. So that in itself is just like a point system that you can add into. The upside is that you actually gain those points every time you fail some kind of, you know, check or something like that. So if you fail a save, or if you fail an attack or a skill check or something like that, then you gain karma. The hero die allows you to re-roll anything. So that's actually one of the cool things about it, is that it's just kind of like inspiration in a sense. It's just that where was it? Where's yeah, so the hero die, here it is. At the start of each session, each hero gets a hero die. This can be burned at any time in the game to re-roll a die, even if you rolled a 1. And once you use this, it's gone. But it can be gotten back by spending 5 karma. So how do you get karma? Well, you start with 3, and the dungeon master, your game master, or rabble rouser, can award karma, but you also get it every time you fail an action. So it's kind of that whole sense of like, with, you know, with one D&D that they were trying to do, where it's like, if you roll a nat 1, you get inspiration. With this, it's if you roll any failure. So, you know, I like this system. It definitely takes me back to like when I was first starting D&D, and I really didn't have like a total grasp on everything yet. You know, because like I know the D&D system in and out now. This is still just very new to me, so there's a lot that I don't know. But like this character would be a good kind of character to roll up with. You know, you're an elf sorcerer who is a you're an alchemist. You're basically more of an elf alchemist than anything else. You're out there making potions, making collecting ingredients to make potions, and you're using magic to defend yourself. That's kind of what I imagine this character to be. If I could get another boon, I probably would have gone familiar and grabbed this imp-like servant that follows me around. This is the weirdest thing though. You grow a teat somewhere in your body that they suckle a small quantity of blood every night. Definitely one of the funniest things in the world. But I kind of love the idea of this character, you know, because he is a botanicalist, he knows plants and animals so well. I kind of imagine where he would be out hunting something down, looking for an ingredient to make a potion. What kind of potion? I don't know. Again, the thing is that when it comes to spells, you don't actually have anything set in stone. So this is the crazy thing. Again, if we look at the magic scrolls that are in here, these are just a few that were already made. Okay? So, Solutions water elemental call. Summon a water elemental for a scene that obeys your commands and protects you. A conjurer can keep up the elemental for a day by anchoring it. Okay? You can just make up your own spells. This is the whole thing about this. Where is it? Pages spellcasting. Magic Basics, page 14. Here it is. Casting magic or calling miracles is a mini game that has different rules from any other action. So the conjurer explains what spell they are casting to the game master. The game master then decides if the spell is targeted against a creature, is an effect, or is a beneficial spell to friendly targets. This exchange, well, what keeps it balanced is everybody at the table. That's the thing. The DM or the rabble rouser, the game master, has the final say so in it. So it would be something like, I'm casting death and I'm pointing at somebody and they're dying. And it's like, no, you can't do that. You can cast Finger of Death and you have to roll, like it says on here, most enemies or heroes resist spells with a D6, whereas others have a higher magic resistant. Spells targeted against the environment instead generally roll a D6. So you can say, I want to cast Finger of Death. Okay, what does it do? Well, I pointed at a creature, and if it hits, they die. Well, no. Okay, we're going to say that it does 1 strike per power level. Okay, so what does that do? When a conjurer casts a spell, they must decide the power level. And this is kind of like your spell levels. And it is only either 1d6, 2d6, or 3d6. And the caster must equal or beat the resistance number of the highest resistance die roll of the targets on one of the power levels. So, for example, jump down here to some monsters. So, magic resistance. Right here, 3d6. Again, some things have higher, some things have lower. But normally it's at least just 1d6. Okay? So, what would happen there is if you wanted to cast Finger of Death, I'm going to roll a d6. So I rolled a 1. Okay? So whenever they cast their spell, they decide their power level. And the caster must equal or beat the resistance number, which is now that 1, on 1, 2, or 3 dice. It must beat that. The resistance is always rolled and revealed first before the conjurer decides the power level. So because I rolled a 1, this is just meaning that it's going to hit. So for example, like it says, where is it? Rolling more power. Oh yeah. So here's the main thing about this. The resistance die will always be rolled and revealed first. If the highest resistance number ends up being a 1, the conjurer automatically casts the spell. So successfully casting a spell, the highest die roll on a power level roll must equal or beat the resistance. A power level of 6 will beat a 6 rolled by the GM. The potential problem, so let's say, for example, instead I rolled a 3, okay? Now this player might decide that they want to roll at a power level of 3. So I got a 4, a 5, and a 5. The caster learns what they have to beat before choosing their power level. So if they wanted to cast Finger of Death, or if I was playing this, elf sorcerer, maybe I'm casting a spell that is, well, yeah, it is a bit meta. I mean, you are going to know that kind of stuff in a lot of games. You're eventually going to figure stuff out, but yeah, that is one thing about this. Like this does have heavier role play aspects, but there is stuff that is just like, because it's so boiled down, this is kind of how it's handled. But they do this so that things can move quickly. Because that's the reality. If I, as the DM, told every one of my players, hey, you guys are fighting goblins. They have an armor class of 13 and they have 6 hit points. When you roll your d20, you know that if you get a 13 or higher on that die roll, you hit them. You also are going to know, since you have a +3 to hit, that if you roll a 10 or higher, you're going to hit them. So realistically, all you have to worry about is, did you roll a 10 or higher? And if that's the case, you can roll your dice faster. You guys, if you also know how many hit points a creature has, you know how quickly you need to defeat them, instead of it being the more cryptic, they're bloodied, or they're close to death, or they're on death's door, or they have 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel. There is a benefit to crypticisms and like taking things out of the meta, but to move things along faster, which is what this is about, there are those differences with it. Because this system is not meant to be rules heavy. This system is meant to be focused on staying in the narrative and letting the dice rolls just be a thing that allows you to get back to the narrative. So again, in this case, let's say I roll that d6. He wants to cast it at a power level of 3. Okay, so rolling more power level dice has a greater chance of rolling a 1, because if you roll a 1, the spell fails. So unless the conjurer decides to take Spellburn. Now, Spellburn is that if you roll a 1 on your power level on any one of the dice, you can choose to take a point of damage, your strikes up here that are just a 3. And, oh God, why did that scroll all the way up? You can choose to take a point of damage in order to allow it to cast. Otherwise, your spell fails. So in this case right here, I rolled a 3. Okay, so I'm the GM, I rolled a 3. My sorcerer, who is wanting to cast Finger of Death, rolled a 5, a 5, and a 4. Okay, they rolled it at a power level 3. And because I said that, a power level, each power level does 1 strike, they deal 3 strikes of damage. So that just means whatever they are pointing at did just die. So we move on. A couple rounds later, it's their turn. I roll a d6. I got another 3. We're going to go with the 3. They roll to attack and they want to do it at power level 3 again. Well, they have failed 2 of their rules. So that means, like it says here, The highest die rolled on a power level roll must equal or beat the highest resistance die. So a power level is 6. The potential problem is if they are 1s. So this specifically, this one does cast, but only one of them succeeded. So I guess with that, I could argue, okay, you cast this at a power level 3, and, you know, maybe it only does 2 points. Okay, so this is just a great roller. There we go. So if it was this roll, for example, the 1, 2, 1, not only is the spell gonna fail, but they're going to have to roll 1. They're gonna have to either take spell burn, or, you know, just have the spell fail. So if, for example, you know, it was this 2 that was a little bit higher up. So if the resistance was a 2 and they rolled this, the spell's gonna fail unless they take that spell burn. So there is a risk reward of that power level 3. I'm just rolling like fire right now because all these are pretty good rolls. So like it says here, conjurers can attack multiple enemies with a spell. They can attack up to 6 enemies, but the strain is great, and the defenses will be harder to overcome if it's stretched across multiple targets. So the targets all need to be within 30 feet of your character. Each target above 1 adds an extra d6 to the resistance roll for the grouping. So this means that either all of them hit or don't. So in this case, let's say that you are a conjurer. You're wanting to cast Finger of Death at 4 enemies. So that's going to be 4d6. So I got a 4, 4, a 2, and a 5. So yeah, like it says on here, 3 targeted defend against this. So now this character's casting it at 6 at power level 3. And they got a 6 on that. So that means that they did in fact hit this. So again, it's either all or none. And this is actually where I think, Stacy, you said about anchoring spells. So conjurers must anchor a spell to maintain it. So some spells must be maintained. It is basically like concentration. And what it does is it embeds and maintains an active prolonged spell in their mind. They can do other actions while anchoring a spell, but if they take damage, fall unconscious, or cast another spell, it's broken, causing it to end. So this is unlike 5th edition, where you can cast another spell as long as it's not another concentration spell. This is that if you cast any other spell, it's broken. So something like that might be if you are, maybe I want to cast an area that puts creatures to sleep. Okay, if that's the case, that's going to be a sustained area. That's going to require an anchor. And then, yeah, here it is, helping the Rabble Rouser understand the spell being cast. Most attack spells are pretty straightforward. The Conjurer announces the spell and targets. The Rabble Rouser rolls resistance die and informs the Conjurer of the number they need to succeed. The Conjurer decides the power level and whether to take spell burn if it fails. Other spells are less clear-cut. This is where arbitration with the GM may come in. After you make a case for your spell, your Rabble Rouser will decide on the validity of the spell and the number of resistance die you must beat to cast it. Remember that the Rabble Rouser has the final word in spell casting. If you decide the spell would be too hard to cast, you can always switch to another spell. Creating your own spells on the fly is fun, but will take up time at the table. Be careful not to make your spell too complicated and difficult to explain. So this is the thing, like, you're supposed to come up with your spells beforehand. Like, that's one of the big things. And that's kind of the thing, is like, you can take that stuff from the scrolls, but you can also like go into other, yeah, and that's the thing, like you kind of have to figure out your spells beforehand. Or you can go down into here into the scrolls and kind of pick up a couple in there. I mean, these are actually more powerful. Like, these are very powerful, but honestly, I would just say kind of jumping into, like, you know, like look in the you know, 5th edition spell books. You know, that's gonna be, there's gonna be stuff in there that would work. You know, Firebolt, for example, that's just a straight up ranged attack. So my character here, this elf sorcerer, maybe they have Vine Whip. Okay, that's something easy enough that you could argue is you know, is totally valid. It's a melee style attack where I can hit any creature in near range with a vine, and you know, it's basically just kind of like a melee attack, and it's just a Vine Whip. Cool. I can, you know, I could put that on here. I could put like Aura of Sleep and have that on here, or, you know, Wall of Vines, Control Animals. Again, these are spells that this is a little bit more free to kind of play with. That's actually one of the reasons why I like it, is because there is a little bit more, you know, to really just play with, you know, the concepts of. No, so there is not attack bonus and reaction. Actually, if we go down to the handy bits, it's the very first page in there, actually. Where was it? Here it is. So yeah, roll of EZD6. Yeah, so where's that? So here we go. Here, time. So on one turn, you can move 30 feet. You get a turn action, and you get a free action. The things you can do as a turn action is attack, cast magic, use a scroll, or move again, so the dash action. And your free action is drink a potion, draw a weapon, or speak. That's it. Those are the things you can do. It's not a bonus action, and you do not act off of your turn. So that's what you get. And unless ambushed, there's actually no initiative. So the heroes just go first in any order they decide. So it could be that, like, the rogue does their thing first because maybe they have some boon that if nobody else is gone, they get a little bit extra damage. So the rogue always jumps in first. Yeah, so using armor, when you're hit, roll armor to save and ignore. So if I was hit, I would roll a d6, and if I roll a 6, I don't take the damage. Miraculous save. So this is some things have like miraculous saves. I forget exactly where those are listed. That's a creepy looking creature. I'd have to look into what miraculous saves are again. I remember reading them. So, yep, distance. Anything less than 30 feet is near. Anything more than 30 feet is far. Yes, so the hero can delay their turn to wait and then interrupt them. And that is true. It's just you cannot take... You can't, in order to do that, I believe you have to not move. I want to say that if you want to do that, you can't move. Yeah, so the hero can interrupt. The hero completes their turn, or the enemy completes their turn. Delay allows players to coordinate attacks, create calls. So, yeah, the trade-off is that the hero cannot take the run action. Oh wait, yeah, no, that's sorry. It's not that they can't move. You can't use the dash action, and you also lose your free action. So that's definitely a thing. So you would have, like, if you had a weapon that was still stowed, you would not be able to draw it and then, you know, delay your turn. So again, here's your turn actions: cast a spell, use a scroll, attack a target, you know, and then stuff like disarm a trap, pick up a dropped weapon, you know, double your action, you know, don a shield, anything that the GM requires. And then, yeah, free actions: speak to a creature, take a potion, draw or sheath a weapon. Some inclinations use your free action. So, I mean, that kind of is kind of like a bonus action. And then, yeah, you know, you get, you get the 30 feet of movement. So that's the main thing. Anything less than 30 feet is near, anything more is far. When using magic, decide the power level, meet or beat the resistance number of all the targets on at least one of the power level dice. The victim / target resistance is rolled first. Most monsters resist once. Karma cannot be used on magic rolls. That's a big thing. You can't use karma on magic rolls because magic is too chaotic to have karma play an effect. And if a caster is hit, anchoring is broken. If you roll a 1 on magic, a spell can still be cast by the conjurer if they take damage. Speaking though, why wouldn't want that to take up other options and free? Well, and that's the thing. This is actually a big thing that, like, some DMs out there do not let their players chat during combat, especially for like tactics. So a big thing is, and especially in 5th edition, every round of combat is 6 seconds. And if there's 5 players and let's say 7 monsters, or even let's say 5, okay, 5 monsters, that means that you have 10 creatures that are all doing something within that 6 seconds. So you're not having time to, like, sit there and strategize with one another, or really sit there and take time to, like, okay, well, you know, they did this with their spell and now I, you know, have this. That's actually why there are some DMs out there that use variant initiative rules where you have to proclaim what you are doing before the actions start. So for example, let's just pull up, you know, let me just pull up a few characters here. So I'm going to pull up, a couple of the characters from Rime of the Frost Maiden. So if the Rime group is fighting, say, a couple frost kobolds that are defending a white dragon, then you might have Groff say that he is going to shoot, he's going to shoot the dragon with, you know, with all of his arrows. So he has the Dread Ambusher, which gets him the extra attack, which gets him an extra attack. He also has extra attack, so he's going to have 3 going into the dragon. You might have Gerard casting Eldritch Blast. He gets 2 of them at 2 of the kobolds. Then you might have Smith, who's going to say, okay, I'm going to go up and attack the dragon as well. And then you're going to have Wu say that he is going to go up and attack the dragon as well. Or maybe Wu goes and attacks 2 of the kobolds. Okay, because he has, or 3 of the kobolds maybe, depending on if they die. Now that's a big thing because Wu has 3 attacks essentially. He has his main hand, his offhand, and then his extra attack is back to his main hand. So Wu would have to specifically say, I'm going to attack this kobold, and if I kill them, I'm going to attack the next one closest. Okay, so I then determine what the kobolds are going to do. And then I narrate the scene. Now, we could do it where we have an initiative order. So we just go down through initiative whenever this happens. So in that case, you know what? Here, we'll do it this way. As bastardized as I feel about them, here we go. We'll do it this way. So we're gonna add some Icewind Dale kobolds to an encounter, and we're gonna add a white dragon wormling. That's what the party is gonna be fighting. Also, it would be helpful to know HP. See, that's the thing. But that's kind of like you, yeah. But round again to being 2 meta, right? Okay. So, for example, if we were to do this, here we go. We're gonna run this encounter. All right. No, come on, just... Oh, God. Is that going to add it? No. All right, so, hold on. Oh, what a pain in the butt to use this software. Just to prove, or just to show a point. Right? Okay. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna move this over. All right, so if this is our current round in combat, okay? So right now we have everyone in combat. And we are currently on, you know, well, we're just gonna cycle through. We're gonna be on round 2, okay? So Groff says that he's gonna target this Kobold E, and he's gonna target Kobold D if he kills Kobold D. Okay. Gerard is gonna cast Eldritch Blast at... Or sorry, Groff's gonna attack the dragon. Gerard's gonna attack E and D. Wu is also going to attack E and D, and Smith is gonna attack the dragon. So here's what happens. We start out. E and D move up, and they attack Smith. Then it's Groff's turn. Groff shoots the dragon, okay? Deals some damage. Then it's Gerard's turn. He shoots these 2 kobolds. He kills them, okay? Let's say that he does enough damage to kill both of them. So what does that mean for Wu? Wu's turn is gone. Wu does not actually have valid targets now. And that is because they decided, without discussing it with one another, that they were both going to attack these 2, because maybe these 2 were closest to Wu, and he just was going to attack the 2 that are closest. So Wu's turn basically gets skipped because they don't have time in that round of combat to strategize. So you move on. The dragon goes up, hits Wu. This kobold attacks Smith. Smith runs up and attacks the now dragon wormling that is now farther away. Because of that, he's going to end up running past multiple of kobolds, taking opportunity attacks. But he already said he was going to focus on the dragon, so that's where he's going. Then we go on to the last 2, which attack, you know, somebody. And then we start all over again. DMs that run this oftentimes have a timer that they allow their players to strategize. At some tables, it's a minute. At others, it's a little bit longer. Honestly, the people that I've seen run this before, they generally say that you have 2 minutes to decide what you're doing. And doing this requires more teamwork. It requires you to talk with the people in your party and decide the things you are doing and actually build working strategies. Because if you wanted to make it even go faster, you could just say, okay, the players all go first, then the monsters. And the players get to determine who goes first. Then you're not having to worry about initiative, and you're able to, you know, keep things moving a little bit faster with that. So now you're allowing them more opportunity to strategize. Maybe they just build a plan. But something like that is actually a way that, you know, when it comes to keeping things moving in 5th edition, that is actually the way that that some DMs out there do that, where they say you only have X amount of time, because you have a free action to speak to an ally. That's basically going to be enough time to like scream out and shout at them and say, you know, like, shoot the dragon, not the kobolds. That's all you could really say. You know, it's just, yeah, speaking to an enemy or a neutral character. Well, I mean, I guess maybe they specifically say neutral character, but again, I would look at this as, you know, you could be a DM who said along the lines of like, you have X amount of time to do your things. Although if shooting at an already dead foe means that there could be more rounds. Although if shooting at an already dead foe, well, no, I don't know what you mean by shooting at a foe means there could be more rounds. If you don't have a valid target, oh, you're saying because if you skip your turn. Well, again, that's the penalty. That's the penalty of not strategizing with the people that you're playing with. Yes. Does that mean that there are more rounds? Yes. Does that mean that, you know, you can't like, oh, well, you killed this, so I'm going to switch my target? Yeah. But again, that is because it's supposed to display it is partially to, I mean, adding that, you know, like, you have to set your targets. That's not necessarily a way to speed up time. Cutting out initiative is a way to speed up time. Making you declare your actions and then stick to it, regardless of the consequences, that is something that is more about allowing for realism, to remove the meta from it. Take, for example, if Smith wanted to cast Fireball on somewhere, maybe he didn't have spell sculpting, okay? Or let's say Wu wanted to cast Fireball. He doesn't have spell sculpting. So he declares that he's going to cast Fireball at a specific point. Well, because and so let's say nobody at the table's talking. Okay, Albina says that she's gonna run up into the middle of the battlefield with her spirit guardians and fight this enemy. And then Wu says that he's gonna cast Fireball because he didn't hear Albina say that she was gonna do that. And if nobody brings that up, she's just gonna be privy to that damage. Okay, doing that system is more about maintaining the meta of time within the game, okay, to make combat feel like the more fast-paced, chaotic thing that it is. Like, hey, you're running around, you're swinging, you know, and you cast you know, Cone of Cold. Well, you didn't realize that your rogue was running past you right as you cast that, so they're now hit because of that. yeah, it's, I want to say it was the DM's Lair had a video on that a while ago. It might be, he has a video called My Homebrew Initiative System for Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if it was that one. It's possible that it is, but or no. You know who it is? It was Dungeon Craft. That's who it was. It was Dungeon Craft, and it's 5-year-old video, and he's more of like an old school player. A 6-second round though can be part of realism because each person's 6 seconds start. Well, no, that's the thing. As in, first person notices foes 1 to 5 seconds before. But again, this is the thing. It is simultaneous. It's not shared across. It's not a staggering 6 seconds. Okay, it's if the initiative order goes fighter, goblin, rogue, goblin, wizard, it's not that the fighter's 6 seconds starts, before the first goblin's 6 seconds. It is all 5 of those turns are happening simultaneously within 6 seconds. Because if you did it where they start separately, that fucks up spellcasting. If something is based on something's, round, or if it lasts for a minute, well, does that last for my minute or for this person's minute? Because now you're staggered by a few seconds. So does something last 10 rounds or does it last 11? Again, a round in combat is 6 seconds simultaneously. And this is why when I'm narrating a D&D session, I try to keep rounds together narratively, because that way everything is kind of happening all at once. Okay, and yes, because it is a game, because we have to have some rule system, there is some, you have to separate yourself from the immersion to understand that, hey, yeah, like we do have to have rounds, we have to have turns, because we have to have some kind of system to actually do this thing. I'm not gonna save this sheet. But when you're trying to have something like that where you're saying, okay, this is roughly the amount of time that we're doing it, you have to have something like that, and it's always going to be at odds. I mean, it's something like this to say that each person's 6 seconds starts separately. That again kind of fucks with stuff whenever you're putting in the system, and that's where you get stuff like the peasant railgun. You're trying to apply like real world physics to a game system of, if you have 100 peasants and you're passing a cannonball from one person to another, technically that's all happening within 6 seconds. So if you have 100 peasants, then that's 500 feet, and that cannonball moved 500 feet in 6 seconds. But it did and it didn't. It's like you have to separate yourself from those, from the game system and real world physics. And that's personally why I don't use, the declared action system. Because I think that in a lot of cases, for one, I do and I don't like it for this reason. It penalizes players for thinking, okay? I like it because you don't afford players to sit there and hum and haw over what they're going to do. You have to figure out what you're going to do because you have a time limit of 1 minute. And like, it might take me 3 or 4 minutes to narrate the scene that plays out in that particular initiative style. But after that, you have a minute to discuss with your team what you're going to do. Or maybe you have 2 minutes to discuss what you're going to do before the next round of combat. And the way that Dungeon Craft does it, if you don't declare something, you just dodge. You take the dodge action. And that's all you do. But again, it's a way to impose more of a realistic sense of urgency into combat. Again, if you just wanted to make it so that combat was faster, and in order to put some urgency into the player, not necessarily having it being associated with the realism of the game, any DM can throw a timer on somebody's round. You know, hey, everyone has 90 seconds when it's your turn to declare what you are doing. And that's it. And if you cannot declare what you are doing within 90 seconds, you dodge. And that's all you do. So, plain and simple. And I have considered that for a lot of my games. I considered that back in the day when I used to just play in-house. You know, I think to some degrees it's if you have a player who takes too much time, you know, druids, wizards, really any spellcasters, players with analysis paralysis, you know, new players, they kind, you know, you kind of have, you know, you kind of have a select group of players that like it's meant for to say like, hey, you have to get faster at deciding your stuff, but then it also kind of penalizes other players who might just ask a question. Takes away the times when we want to see the area of effect. Well, again, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's you should know how big your area of effect is, and you should know like what your spells, you know, do. So that's kind of a thing. And I get it. I will honestly say, like, if you're playing IRL and you're sitting at a table and maybe you have like pieces of plastic, or you buy those, you know, like dry erase see-through, you know, area effect things, that like show you where, you know, like how big a 20-foot circle is. In that respect, yeah, it's very easy to like take that and like kind of eyeball it up if you're wanting to do, you know, fireball, or you're wanting to do cone of cold, or something like that. But when you're doing it on like a VTT, like just look at the area. That's honestly my perspective on that. And yeah, you have 90 seconds. But here's the thing. Figure out 3 things you want to do. The first thing is what you're going to do is something that you can ask a question about. Okay? I would like to cast Fireball, but I want to see the area of effect. Okay? And if I put it right here, does this hit any of my allies? If it does, okay. My second action is I'm going to move it 5 feet to the east so I know I don't hit anybody. Okay? And have a backup to the backup of if I'm gonna hit an ally regardless, I'm gonna cast a different spell. These are all things that you should be deciding off of your turn, so that when it is your turn, you can make your decisions faster. That's, you know, there's all kinds of different ways that DMs out there have come up with ways of making combat faster, and that's what it all comes down to. That's why with Easy D6, everything is supposed to be faster. Everything is supposed to be quicker to get you out of combat. The system is more driven towards the narrative than it is driven towards rules and mechanics of combat, which is why that system would not work for a lot of players. I know for a fact Smith and Steve would probably have a less enjoyable time playing that game than they would D&D, because D&D has rules that are very spelled out. You have power structures that are set in stone that you can look at and you can strategize around. You know, when you have players who prefer to hang back, let the narrative roll, throw in their opinions when it comes, and then roll the dice that they crave so much, then that's awesome. And that's cool that that's how some players want to play. Easy D6 is a system meant more for the role play and the narrative of things. And that's also why there's other systems out there that just work for better things. But, you know, like I said, you can try and work some of that stuff into D&D, but that doesn't often, you know, sometimes it just adds more that everyone now has to know. But also Steve for sure thinks combat does take too long. That is always going to be a reality of D&D, especially when you have 5 or more players, especially when you have an NPC that's joining combat, especially when you have characters like Gerard or Iluna that have companions, or Albina that have, you know, spirit guardians or her spiritual weapon. You know, you're gonna have, and then you have all the monsters. So this is why I try and do things where I on the backside try and do stuff that speeds stuff up. I think he likes to listen to narrative as PCs talk to NPCs and decide things. Yeah, and you know what? That's cool. That's hey, if that's what he's up on, that's awesome. You know, it's whatever makes him happy with the game. You know, that's some players love to be involved in the narrative. Some players love, you know, to sit back and offer their voice when needed. And yeah, that's whatever makes that player happy. But again, I think that's where, you know, something like Easy D6, something like Easy D6 kind of requires a little more proactivity. You know, you kind of got to be more forthcoming with that. But yeah, so oh boy, I just realized it's almost 1:30 in the morning. So I'm actually going to end the stream here. I know we started out playing some games, and then I kind of got on the topic of, you know, Easy D6 and stuff. But yeah, you know, hey, there we go. It is what it is. A stream called Let's Play Tiny Rogues, where half of it was me talking about D&D. So, but you folks out there have a wonderful night. I'm going to go get some sleep. Good night, everybody.